This is another Poets at War General Report. And here's your General, Joshua David Ling.
What's good, everybody? It's your General back again. Not as good sound quality, but there's a reason for that. We're going to be doing a full studio tour today. Office, studio, study, whatever you want to call it. It's my own little creation. God has richly blessed us these past few months, and thanks to you guys, thanks to some other folks, I've been able to completely rebuild my office situation, and my use case is pretty strange and ridiculous compared to a lot of folks. I do a little bit of streaming, more so recording using OBS. I also do lots of freelance audio video work, lots of recording, as well as archiving media, just lots of different stuff. But my main purpose is storytelling, and I wanted a place that would inspire me and get me excited to tell stories and make things. And I don't do a more clean look. I have a very jumbled sort of look, so for those of you who are looking for clean setups, this is not the place. I have remote camera ability with OBS, but I'm actually going to be recording on a separate device for that and walking around, and it'll all work out in the end. We're going to go ahead and look now at my Mac computer screen, and we're just going to see I have a list of things to go down. Our different categories are as follows: hardware, software, aesthetics, carry bag, and purpose, use case / organization. And so that's our path. We're going to go ahead and walk through it. Let's get this thing started, shall we? And here we are. I have my dual camera situation. Hi, this is my phone. You can see me there. Hardware first. First off, we have my MacBook. I will put the specs on the screen. It's a 2017, I know that. Have a little, see if I can flip the image there, but that is a Mission Aware sticker with John Calvin and Charles Spurgeon on there. And I have this set up connected to this 32-inch TCL Roku TV. I have a 4 terabyte hard drive SSD connected to it from where I edit my video. It's a pretty good machine, and I'll go into more detail about how it's connected into this whole desk setup soon. I also have a ThinkPad laptop. I will put the specs on the screen there. Sorry about the things on top. That is a USB hub and another external hard drive. I think that's a 1 terabyte. A little bit older USB 3 hard drive, but it does the job. And so those are my two main computers right here, and they make up a very interesting setup. We'll go into how I control both of those with a single mouse and keyboard shortly. Next comes my two 32-inch TCL Roku TVs. You can see them both right here. And they are really nice to have, large canvases to work with. They also keep me engrossed in whatever it is I'm recording or doing, writing, etc. It's very, very helpful to me. Now, some people may go, oh, but the pixel density, it's really not that bad. These are 1080p panels, and I know some people are cringing when I say that, but I mean, I grew up with CRTs, so honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me. I know it is to some people, but for me, these $120 roughly TVs, one of which I got for free from someone else who was getting rid of it, like, they work great. Connecting the audio together, I have a Scarlett 2i2. That's a second generation interface. This is where my microphones and things plug into to go to the PC. But that's that situation. I also have a Samsung Galaxy Note 9 sitting up here. This is my old phone. It no longer works on the network that I wanted to be on, and so I had to swap it out, but it's still... Samsung phones are amazing. They have a desktop mode. They can work as a secondary display, as you see right here. They can do so many different things. Yes, this is in fact connected to my mouse and keyboard as well, and I can use this as a I mainly use it for zoom when I'm talking to somebody so they can see that my eyes are directly, like I'm looking at it right now, and that's where my main camera is, and so it looks very close to like I'm looking directly at you. This is directly at you. This is at the phone. Very similar. The other reason I use it is for teleprompter and that sort of a thing, and it's very useful and helpful in that regard as well. All of this is standing on a desk that I put together. I got this top from an apartment that I worked in. I worked in an apartment complex, and they were getting rid of these little breakfast nook tables. Well, I say little, this is a pretty big table. And I found these legs for it for about $150, and it is a sit-stand desk. So if you come over here, there is a crank, and you fold that out, and you can crank it up and down. I wanted a manual crank instead of a electronic crank because I didn't want that to fail on me at any case and have to fix it, get different motors, etc. You can see my LG Wing. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's a goofy, weird little thing. It has two displays. It is cracked currently pretty badly on the back. I wanted a fun phone because my other phone, I really loved my Galaxy Note 9, and it's just, I wanted something fun, and it's helping me do dual recording right now, so that's cool. Next we have my Logitech C920 webcam. This is a pretty basic webcam that a lot of people have, basic 1080p webcam. If you know how to use OBS, you can make it look nice, but you kind of need Windows and OBS, and you need to be able to finagle the settings to make it look as good as I've been able to. That and the proper lighting. So even though my image is very soft, I do really like the way it looks. And generally speaking, the reason it's soft is because I can't crank the settings on this laptop. But it still records really well, and I've been very pleased with it. So moving on from there, we have my headphones. These are Edifier headphones. Let's see if it says the model on there. I don't think it does. I can put the model in the description, but I've had these for a while now. These were a gift from my father, who passed away in 2020. I can't part with them. They are kind of falling apart, as you can see, but they are extremely comfy and give great sound, and they're not crazy expensive either. Next we have my ATR 2100 microphone. I have it on a Heil boom arm I also got from my father. These microphones are really incredible. But now you can hear what the ATR 2100 sounds like. It's my normal mic. You've heard me use it before. And it's only slightly less good than the Shure SM7B that I ended up having to sell a while ago for financial reasons. But I really like it. And it's just been a really fantastic microphone. Beyond that, it also has USB and XLR connections. So I can actually take this and connect it to my Mac via USB, and I can connect it to my PC via XLR, your normal mic cable. And so it is connected all the time to both of my computers, which is really handy and functional, given, my use cases and whatnot. So I also have another one that I keep in my carry bag, and we'll talk about that when I go over my carry bag. So these guys, these little toner mic things, they are pretty sweet. They are wireless microphones, and they sound amazing. I'm actually going to plug one in now for you guys to hear. And I might just do the rest of the thing like this. So, yeah, these you can hear might even sound, depending on how you look at it, as good or a touch better than my ATR 2100s. They actually sound really, really good, and they're actually the same price or cheaper than my ATR 2100s, which is crazy. They're very easy to find on eBay. You can find some on Amazon. I've been a fan of these. I have an older version than this one, and this is my newer version. I've been a huge fan of how these sound and work, and they're durable, they're wonderful wireless microphones. So if you're interested, check them out. You can see there I have it plugged in to my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2,
and it sounds pretty darn great. So my Note 8s on the workbench. I have two Galaxy Note 8s. Obviously can't use them on the network. One of them's kind of banged up. I use these guys for a variety of reasons. Currently I'm using them to capture some audio that I could otherwise not do, and they're just good little desktop things to MacGyver up situations. And I use them over here on this workbench. I can put anything on this little, I mean, it's not really a workbench, it's just a top of a storage bin, but it functions as a workbench for me, kind of a test bench where I can build things and work on things. And so we'll get into that a little more when I talk about use case and such. Android devices for remote cams. I can use any of these three devices, or mine, my LG, or any of the ones that I have in this drawer here. Yes, I am a hoarder of devices. I can use pretty much any of them as a remote webcam directly into OBS on my computer that I can carry around the room. I decided to record locally on this one, so it's not going to look as good as this, but still pretty cool. I also have my main iPad. So this is my other computer. Let me get it open here. So this thing, I put the specs on the screen here, is really awesome, amazing piece of equipment that I use for music and art. I use the Apple Pencil to draw and edit all kinds of things, including an animated film that Ian and I are working on, an animated series, really. And so that's that thing. I usually carry it instead of the laptops. I'll keep the laptops hooked up as desktops for the most part, unless I need to take them with me. It's convenient when I need to, but they kind of live as desktops. Next is my Casio keyboard over here. We have a Casio, I don't know if it says the name, no it doesn't, but it's a very basic Casio keyboard, and I use it with MIDI out to my iPad to run GarageBand, and I can compose that way. Or alternatively, I can use my Warble, which is a USB bagpipe / tin whistle fingering fake wind instrument, MIDI wind instrument kind of thing, and that's really helpful for the creation of music. Getting into my lighting setup, I just have some colored bulbs I found for like 20 bucks on Amazon and threw them in this light. There is a remote that I use over here to control that, and it gives a good natural kind of light, as well as these various colors and changing situations. I have one over here also in this blue Pixari lamp. That's to give a little extra light on the backdrop here, which we'll go into that with the aesthetics. Additionally, I have this bar light right up here, which I can turn on and off for recording, and it does a good job showing my face and all that other kind of stuff for my main camera setup. And then I have over back here, oh, not back there, I pulled it out, these little lights that I found on Amazon. I don't remember, like 20-30 bucks maybe, something like that. And they're pretty great. Let me turn one on. It's very helpful for working on all different kinds of situations. Like, I'm working on trying to get a set with this as the backdrop, the curtain that you see behind me, and I don't have it quite ready yet, but it's a good way that I can move lights around the studio as need be for filming in different locations and directions and that sort of a thing. Last two things I'm going to mention hardware-wise are my laptop coolers. I have one here and one here you may have seen earlier. They have fans on them. I have them connected into bricks. Don't connect them into your computer if you can, just because that can mess with the power supplies. And replacing a little brick is way better than replacing your laptop's power supply. And then my last thing I'll check out is this Nintendo Switch controller that I got from Target for like 20 bucks. I like to play some emulated games, anything from GameCube and PS2 back on down to like Super NES. That was kind of my era of gaming. Let's move on from hardware into software. Obviously, I have macOS and I have Windows. But how do I put those together, do you ask? So basically, we have a service called Barrier. And Barrier actually allows, through the internet, not the internet, but the local network, connection of a master, in this case the MacBook, having the keyboard and mouse plugged in to control a what they call slave, which this is the slave, my PC. So as you can see, it works like a dual screen setup. Let me put my mic down. You can see the cursor moves from here over across the Note to my PC seamlessly. Now you can't copy files between the computers. They don't share file structure or anything, but they do share a clipboard. And the way that I've gotten around the file situation is a service called Send Anywhere. It's if you spell out Send Anywhere and put the dot right before the RE and type that into your browser, and it will pull up. It is an excellent software that will allow you to transfer basically anything to anything device-wise, and it's very, very helpful. I have Final Cut on my MacBook for editing. I have OBS, and you can see I don't have a real complicated OBS setup, pretty basic over here. I use a software called Duet to connect my Note to my PC so that they can move, and it just treats the Note like an extra display for the PC. So the Mac thinks that there's a dual screen PC over here, and I can arrange all of those accordingly. I also use a service called Trello. Let me show you that. And it allows you to create these cards with information in them and move them around accordingly. And this is how I keep on task with all of the things that I do. It may look complicated to you, but I know exactly what's going on, and you can set it up exactly however you like. It is unbelievably helpful to me to keep my crazy ADHD brain in check and to keep me moving on from one task to another. I do pay for the premium version. I think it is an incredible software. It's been around a long time. You should definitely check it out. Then we have Telegram. Now, I use Telegram to actually write my stories, as you can see right here. Here's the thing with poetry, because I'm a poet and I write stories and poetry. I can write a rhyming couplet and essentially send it to myself as a message, right, in a Telegram channel, private Telegram channel, and then I have the rhyme for the next message. And so I can just, like I'm texting, pick up and check my messages, so to speak, and keep writing. And it helps me keep going and keep thinking about the stories ongoing in a really kind of cool way. And I've been a big fan of that. As you can see, I've kind of mixed Rainbow Warrior Bard with Cracker Barrel instruments, weapons, etc., and it would take me forever to actually go through all of this, but I'm going to go through it lightly. We have a Middle-earth curtain over here. We'll start here and move around the room. Up here we have a wardrobe, that's some storage in there, and my 4 favorite fantasy series up here, the Wingfeather Saga, is currently missing Northerby Eaton because I have someone borrowing it. And we have the Song of Albion to the left of that, to the left of that, The Lord of the Rings, and to the left of that, Narnia. And Dawn Treader is out of there because I'm currently reading it to my daughter. On top, that is my great-grandmother's Bible. King James Version, large print, pretty sweet. I got a guitar up there, some other photos and things, Chipper Jones baseball cards because I'm a huge Braves fan. This is my image for the Song of Albion right here. This is a green aurochs. If you know, you know. There's this fireplace painting as a curtain. I wanted a cozy, comfy sort of thing. There's a Lord of the Rings cassette box set. There's Mario, Venom, Duart Castle on the Isle of Mull. Obviously, my beautiful bookcase with Collier's Junior Classics, very prominently displayed because they are gorgeous books. Poetry books, all that sort of stuff on down. Behind here, we have some records, a electric guitar that my wife owns, there's a tomahawk up there, pan flute, dulcitar, drums. There's a wobble board that I use sometimes to stand on. Yeah, it's a little kid's one, but it does hold me. Right here we have some cool documents, like my mother's letter to Richard Nixon from 1971 when she was 10 years old. and some other fun family documents right there. Over to this side, we have this amazing Tree of Life curtain. I wanted a Care Paravel curtain. It's still supposedly coming, but I have no other info than that. It's coming from China, and so hopefully it ends up getting here. Until then, I can say that this represents the Magician's Nephew. We have my office calendar. There's a lot of office stuff in here, and this is no exception. The White Tree of Gondor. We have this beautiful rainbow machete thing that my wife got me. Some rainbow throwing knives that came with it. There's a picture of her from high school. Bears Beats Battlestar Galactica with Canon press sticker. Over here, behind, next to this light, we have the lion from Narnia. Over here is just some random storage and stuff of various things. Then we have, this is sort of the office wall. It has a few other things, but like that Lord of the Rings, that's the top for that box set over there. I'm still not sure that that's going to stay or not. We have the Sea Dragon from the Winged Feather Saga. I made that little sea dragon art. And then we have Mose Schrute and Creed Bratton from The Office. A Dundie Award threat level midnight poster. That's pretty sweet. And this little You Rock thing that my daughter made for me. So as you can see, the aesthetic situation in here is pretty wacky and crazy. But I'm a big fan of it, and it really inspires me, and there's a lot of depth to everything. Like, I didn't show you half the surface of any of this. Honestly, it is a cornucopia of milestones and things that remind me of my journey with God, and they help me to work harder every day. They inspire me to keep going. And yeah, it's Cracker Barrel, it's instruments, it's weapons, it's books, but everything in this means something to me on one level or another. And being just overwhelmed with the stories keeps me wanting to write my own and keeps me inspired. So anyway, we're going to move on to talking about the purpose and use case of all of this. Big picture, I've got this desk set up. You can see the stuff underneath. You can see the storage underneath. You can see my printer. Yeah, this is all one setup, and it's meant to be sort of my hub to do everything that I need to do. Over here, this is still kind of a work in progress, but this is my main setup for the workbench, for doing various things. This is kind of my utility area. The closet is storage. I mean, that's basically all storage over here and decoration. Here is my music workbench kind of thing, like I had said. Got my bookcase there, and yeah, this is going to be a set in and of itself, where I can sit in my chair and yeah, basically just share from a seated position and film YouTube videos that way. But I haven't fully figured out the way I want it to be, especially lighting and everything else, and make it look nice. So that's just gonna have to wait for a little bit. And then my carry bag. Now, I'm not gonna actually pull it out, but I will show you on camera. I mean, actually, pull it out to go through it, because it's not packed. I have a lot of little odds and ends in here, but this is a very basic backpack that I got from Amazon, but it's very large. I can carry my my 2 laptops and my iPad no problem. I can carry a whole lot of extra equipment, and the point is I can throw something in it and just go down to the yard, but I'd rather just grab my iPad and go to whatever coffee shop or whatever to work that way. That's better to me than lugging around a big backpack. The backpack is for when I need to go. But in addition, I have some USB hubs in there. I have my other ATR 2100 microphone in case I need to podcast and have some good sound quality somewhere. I can throw lights in there. I can throw other sorts of things. And other use case thing. In that closet over here, I have probably about 10-ish mic stands, just like this one. And I have one sitting back there with a mic holder on it that was holding this microphone previously, and I have this one here with a little light on it. And I use those mic stands because they were like $20 a piece because I don't need, rolling C stands for this kind of a room. And they've been really, really helpful. Just get some adapters, throw them on for anything you need. This is technically a mic stand, this little stand right here. It's a desktop mic stand. So mic stands have been good to me. Don't discount mic stands. I think I covered just about everything. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I've got my little tin whistle holder over here, which was a top of a CD spindle that I screwed to the wall. So that's cool. I could go on and on and on about all the little details I put into this room, and I'm continuing to put into this room. But I am so blown away and thankful to everyone who gave to the project, who prayed for the project, who is continuing to pray for us and root for us in what we're doing here, trying to be our family's bard, to show and share that with people, to be ministers of the truth and the light, and so that people will remember they're not dead yet, that there's still a chance to not only repent, but to live a wonderful and abundant life that isn't the prosperity gospel, but is also just full of the gorgeousness and beauty that God continually gives to us all here on this earth. So, with all that said, just be your family's bard. Do not turn to the right or to the left, and the Lord will be with you wherever you go. We'll see you next time in the trenches on Poets at War.